All right. I think we're recording. Yeah. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, y'all.
Good morning, everybody. I guess it won't really, we don't know that they're going to listen in the morning. I'll say good morning to you because it's morning here.
Yeah, it's morning here too.
In your time zone? Okay. So I want to follow up because the last time we recorded, it was 2 days ago, and we left with we each had something that was driving us nuts that we were going to fix. Now, I have not fixed mine. If you look, my bed is still ugly, but I did that. So I have ordered new sheets, a new mattress pad, and a new like lightweight white duvet for the summer. So like I haven't fixed my problem yet, but I did act on it when we got off the Zoom. How's Mount Laundry?
I mean, Mount Laundry is gone. It's not even a hill. Like I went and I did it. Folded it, put it away. Yeah. I felt like, and it didn't take, I put some music on, Justin Bieber. I love him. And
my kids, I have a favorite Justin Bieber song.
You do?
I do. It's the one, and I never know the names of the songs. But it's the one, My Mama Don't Like You, and She Likes Everyone.
Love Yourself.
That one, yes. Yeah. I do like that one. And my kids laugh because that's me, because I love everybody. Like that's my thing. Like that's all God calls me to do. So I love everybody.
Exactly. Me too. So yeah, so I put on some Justin Bieber and I knocked out that wash, not kidding, less than 15 minutes. And I'm not going to say how long it sat on my couch. If Alex were here, he'd tell you the truth, but he's not, thankfully. But yeah, knocked it out. And I was like, why did I wait so long?
Well, and how much, my thing with stuff like that is the mental drag. Like if you every day, until I changed a year ago, until I changed how I did my goal setting, I would always like set the same goal and it would like drag, and then it'd be like, oh, I didn't do it yesterday. I got to put it on today's. I didn't do it last week. I got to put it on this week's. And so like just that mental drag of always knowing that you have to do it. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I really like, I do for myself, it's a very selfish thing, is I try to get stuff done so I don't have to think about it again. Like I make the decision, use the mental energy one time.
Right.
Super lazy.
So I have a quote that I always say is that, I wish I should follow my own advice. Today's lazy is tomorrow's crazy. So you put off right today, you're going to feel that overwhelmness and crazy tomorrow. So, but what I also liked was your quote from last time, from our first episode, was you said you want things to be a get to instead of a have to. And things like that are, like, I have to do that. Mm-hmm. But Alex, my wise, beyond his years 17-year-old, he always just like, why don't you just take it out of the dryer and deal with it then? Fold it and put it away, and then it doesn't pile up. Of course, my thing to that is like, I always feel like I have priorities or other things that I need to do, and that can wait, but then it becomes a mountain.
Well, and then like, I don't know, but so our laundry room is like, we also, someone built on like an extra 5 feet on our house. So there's a little mud room and a little laundry room. Oh, and in the laundry room, it's small. So we put in a conduit and we hang our clean clothes there until the kids put them in their closet. But there's just no room to, like, we have the baskets on the floor and we put the clean clothes in the kids' basket, but if it piles up, that room feels so cluttered, and it's right off the kitchen and there's no door. And so that's my whole thing. Like, a lot of you guys with your beautiful homes, like, you have these great laundry rooms. Like, I want to see your laundry room. Like my laundry room, it's for me. I'm the only one that really spends quality time in there. So it's got like my favorite, my family made me a pennant banner one year for my birthday. So I took the mommy girl part and hung it in there. And then last year for a banquet we did for Casey's, one of Casey's groups, we decorated with rainbows. So I have this huge rainbow balloon, and I just took and hung it in there because it makes me happy. And like,
I love that.
Something like a quote that a kid painted for us, or just like stuff. I have stuff in there that makes me happy, and I try to keep it clean and neat so I want to be in there.
That's kind of how my laundry room is. It's bright orange. Yes, you do spend a lot of time in the laundry room, but mine is decorated with It's Longhorn stuff. Like Carrie McKinney. Here's another thing, people. I'm dropping names. Your first and last. Oops. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but.
Are you going to say something bad about Carrie? If you're going to say something bad about Carrie.
No, but I'm like.
Nobody's ever said anything bad about Carrie. She's the nicest person ever born.
No, but I was like, I'm saying all these people's names. Someone's going to stalk them. I don't know. Goofy. Silly. But anyway, so Carrie's stepdad, Butch, Drew, he draws, he paints, he's artistic and an artist, and he drew the tower at UT, and so I have that framed in there, and then just different little things. But yeah, I tried to make it happy. I wish I could paint my whole house orange sometimes, but
okay, see, and I'm the worst person to talk about that with, because like, why not? Go ahead.
Why not? Yeah, no.
You got money, go ahead.
I feel like I have just orange spread around just because it's not everyone's favorite color, which I don't understand. It's so happy, but
we went backwards in this house. So when we bought the house, it was decorated beautifully. It was all like Martha Stewart colors and Robin's Egg blue and like a sea glass green and a beautiful, like it was beautiful. And like the first thing we did when we came in was we were like, Roberto, white, everything white. And my goal was I was going to drop all the color out and then bring color in like in the curtains and the rugs. And I was going to have my decorator friend like really like, I was finally going to have a real house. But what had happened was when we dropped all the color out and brought in the white couches, I was like, I really like the white. I like everything white. And so we've added color back in, but like I didn't go with rugs like that. We have bare floors. We have our windows are just white, simple curtains. Because
I love your house.
Well, thank you. But I love color and I love coming to people's homes. Like my friend Tara, her house is like floor to ceiling color and so much texture and just warmth. And I think you have to just figure out what works for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sure. What works for me is not like the house we have is nowhere near the house I envisioned having. Ever.
I love when I walked in your house the first time. This is kind of like when I go to people's house to organize. Like there's just a certain flow, but I like looking around at the things that people have because it's, like when I slept in Noble's room, I was like, oh, he likes Harry Potter. He has, just what he reads and his Legos or, things that are on his shelf, but it tells a story. And I love, like your gnomes and, Casey's desk is one of my favorite places on the planet because she's got all her markers and stuff. But there's a lot of color in there and I love it.
You'll have to come back because she put in shelves. She put in shelves over Christmas.
I did. I saw those shelves and I screenshot those shelves because they're really, I love IKEA. Were they from IKEA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, and that's one thing I will say too. Like if you ask me if I like IKEA, I would tell you no.
Right. Same.
Our house is a mix of antique and given to us. And we have a couple of things from IKEA because sometimes that's what works.
Right.
And she needed a specific, she measured like down to the inch. Like she needed a specific size.
Like you said, this is what I need for this space and someone made it for you. Like that.
Yeah.
When that happens, when you find like the perfect, but I do need to come see it in person.
Come on.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. So I think that's actually a good segue talking about 16-year-old Casey.
Oh yeah.
Houses and like whether or not, so your house that you have now, is this the house that you wanted to have when you were little?
I don't know that I ever consciously thought, here's the thing, back to the little girl in kindergarten who wanted to be a mom and have kids and be a wife. Donna Reed and Carol Brady were my heroes. If, the younger kids are like, who the heck are they? I never thought beyond that. It was like, a mom. Like I never thought it planned the wedding or envisioned who I'd be married to or the house with the white picket fence. Like, no, I didn't. I just knew that I wanted to live in a house and have kids, but I didn't have a picture of that in my head. Yeah.
exciting. So
Yeah.
before we started
I
recording,
do love my house. I mean,
I love your house. Your house is very you.
thank you.
And it's like a place to gather.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So what about you?
No, it's my house is nothing like I really thought like your house is what I pictured. I guess growing up the way that I grew up, where I grew up, like I always thought like a 2-story house, like a big house and all this stuff. And that's just not that when we initially were going to move to Brenda, I pictured buying an older home and restoring it, which we would have lost it. Like we would have lost it the year after we moved here, the way that things went financially. So like God gave us a small house. We rented one for a year and lived in it for almost 9 years. And then when we were house shopping, we looked at a bigger house and loved it and had a contractor come out and he told us how much cash it would take to make it what we wanted. And we were like, we don't really want to be cash poor. We don't want to be house poor. And then we accidentally found this house. And when we drove up, I was like, oh, I knew the girl who had lived here before. And I had been to her new house. I'd never been in this house. I'd only dropped her off here. And our house it's a teeny tiny house on a great big lot. So
amazing lot.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the lot. And then when we walked in the house and Debbie had it decorated beautifully, and I was like, oh, I don't want any of this nice stuff. But so we moved from a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house to get a bigger house so our kids could have their own room. And we purchased a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house that 5 years later, it'll be 6 years this summer that we bought it. So almost 6 years later, we're still in 2-bedroom, 1-bath. We haven't added on. We haven't changed it any. We still have, I need to repaint the trim. So, but yeah, it's not the house that I envisioned, but I also, this is kind of what made me think about 16-year-old me. When I was younger, I thought that what was nice was what everybody else had. And as I've gotten older, I've learned that what's nice to me is the stuff that does tell our story. It's the stuff that makes us happy. And what we've always told our kids is it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be perfect for you. And that's what like our little house, like it's weird. It's quirky. It's funny. It's all the things. And it's never not dusty, but it's right for us. It works for us. It works for the 4 of us. So. Yeah. And that's one of the things, like when we started this, the very first homework you gave me was to make a playlist, make a mixtape. If I was making a mixtape for 16-year-old me. So I have to tell you, like, lean back again. Look at her awesome 16 candle shirt, y'all. I need it. Like, I need it bad.
And you know what? I love this shirt because she's in the middle, Molly.
That's the poster.
Yes, Sam, because it depends on the day. If I'm a Jake girl or if I'm a Farmer Ted girl, because, the hot guy, but really, I mean, I've always been I love a dork. I love a nerd. And he is so funny.
Well, yeah. I married that guy. He looks like Jake Ryan, but he's that guy. Like I married Ted.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, I love 16 Candles. It probably was the first, teen movie, that genre, that whole, oh my gosh, there's a girl like me. I so relate to her. Yeah.
I didn't get a car on my 16th birthday either.
Or a guy, or a cake. Yeah. You get to sit on the table? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, that whole thing. Like that's like, so like 16-year-old me, like that's what I thought love was. I thought love was like, I always had crushes on guys who didn't know I existed. Because that's what I thought you did, right? Like as an adult, I know that that's not really how the world works, but I thought that life was a John Hughes movie. And so I was so emo, so in my head. So like, oh, life is unfair. And now I'm all like, like the biggest silver lining spotter ever.
You seriously are. You are.
That's all God.
Yeah.
So writing to 16-year-old me was harder than I thought it was going to be. And picking, like, I couldn't pick just 10 songs. I put 11 on my playlist.
Yeah.
You snuck in 13.
I snuck in 13.
You did. Because when I posted that, I was like, 13. So I felt bad sneaking 11. You snuck in 13.
I snuck in 13 because our conversation on the side, I was like, oh, she's going to sneak in like 15.
I have 24.
Yeah.
I narrowed it down. But I did. But that song, the the song from the movie, there's 2 songs from that movie. They play Spandau Ballet at the dance, that True song. And they used to play that on 93Q in the morning. Like I would go to work with my mom at 5:30 in the morning. You know how top 40 stations are, like every morning we hear that song.
Right.
And I love that song. And that, like to me, that's what love felt like. And then at the end, they play the Thompson Twins.
Uh-huh.
And I like that to me, like that's what, like that. And I can feel what I felt like when I heard that song. So
Yeah.
I wanted to put one of those songs on my playlist, but I didn't, because I was like, that, like, I couldn't even articulate why.
And you know what's funny is originally I was thinking of not the Spandau Ballet, but it was Thompson Twins and another song from that movie, A Song for You. Actually, I have a playlist for you I'm working on, but yeah, because 16 Candles, I think of you and Jake, and you've got the sweatshirt. Yeah.
A dog named Jake Ryan.
Dog named Jake, yeah.
we have a dog named Jake Ryan, and then we got him a puppy, and I wanted to name her Samantha Baker, but we had a dog named Sammy, who was a girl who passed away. I guess the dog died. She didn't pass away. But anyway, but they didn't want to have another dog that was Sammy or Samantha. So I was like, how about Molly? So she's Molly.
I love it.
So we have Jake and Molly, yes. But
yeah.
So like 45-year-old me looks nothing like 16-year-old me in vision. But the thing is, like, one of the things so we each wrote a blog post, like a letter to our 16-year-old self. And I was thinking in the shower this morning, I need to go back and edit mine and tell my 16-year-old self to not be afraid of the change. Like, don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of loss, because those are the things that, even though they hurt and they're hard, those are the things that get you where you need to go. And then when you look back on them, like, you can totally see, sometimes you can see what God was doing. Sometimes you're like, why, God? And maybe we'll never know. But there are so many things in my life that I can see, like, like I ended up not going to the college I was planning to go to. I ended up not marrying the man I was engaged to. Like, there are things that I see, like, I'm not in the classroom, and I always thought I would be at 45. There's so many things in my life that I see that God has detoured me to get me where I needed to be. Where if it was up to me, I would be living in a house that looked like everybody else's house, with the man who goes to work all day and never is, like, we would be like everybody else.
Right.
So his plan has been so much better.
Yeah. True.
So tell me about 16-year-old you.
So 16-year-old me grew up, our house was 1,800 square feet. It was, we each had our bedroom, and my parents had a small bathroom in their bedroom. And then my sister and I shared a bathroom, and our bathroom also had the laundry, the washer and dryer was inside. And there wasn't a door or curtain separating it. So it's kind of strange. I mean, I didn't think about that then, but so 1,800 square feet, 4 of us. It was just me, my sister, and my mom and dad. But yeah, I loved that house. And, part of why I loved it so much is because my neighbors are, a lot of us are still friends. Like, it's back in the day, you go outside, I'd take my boombox and we'd hang out and play or hang out with friends. And so kind of the same. I, had posters on my wall. I don't know. I mean, I had my crushes and stuff, and like I had a couple of like really big crushes in middle school. But when I got to high school, like 9th and 10th grade, probably didn't. It was more about the boys on the posters on my wall.
For me, it was Kirk Cameron,
yes,
Phoenix, Michael J. Fox.
Kirk Cameron, huge. Like, I love Kirk everywhere. But Cyndi Lauper and Duran Duran, and they were probably all over my wall, big. So I would say she I spent a lot of time in my room listening music. I like music, always is there. Or TV. I watched a lot of TV. My dad liked TV. We watched TV together, all the sitcoms, Three's Company. I guess when I was 16, it might have been like Fresh Prince was out.
Cosby still.
Cosby
Was
still.
it?
Yeah.
I think what else? I
So,
think not Fuller House. Full House came a little bit later. We were a little bit older. Maybe.
yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
It all goes together.
But yeah, it does.
Oh, like Growing Pains.
Oh, Growing Pains. Yes, yes. And Family Ties, probably.
Urkel.
Yes, Urkel.
I guess
So
that's
yeah, so TV, music. What was I doing in high school? I guess I turned six. I'm in November, so I was a late birthday. I was probably in 10th grade. And you know what I was thinking the other day? Did you skip a grade? Is that?
I did. So I turned 16 over Christmas my junior year. I am the youngest person in our class. Like it's me, Shay, and Raina. What's her? It's Vessels now is Williford. So yeah, the three of us were the three youngest people in the class, and we ended up being rounders. But anyway, so I graduated at 17, which I think is part of my meltdown.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
and an aside, both of my kids, the schools have approached me about doing the same thing, and both times I said no. Said you're welcome to challenge them. I'll challenge them at home, but they're not emotionally. It's not a good choice.
Right.
Ask me how I know.
Ask me. Yeah, I don't know. That popped in my head. But so yeah, grew up in, and I think now like this house, I tell the boys this all the time, where we spend our time is typically in one spot either in the kitchen or, upstairs. Like, we don't need all of this space and all of this stuff, like it's just, it's a lot. Like we're just always, I tease them. I'm like, we just get 1-bedroom apartment. Because in the beginning of our divorce, they slept in my room a lot. That's why I put a couch in there too, because, I have a king bed, but they're men children. So they'd take turns. One would sleep with me and one would sleep on the couch. And so I was like, why do we even have this house? We're all together all the time. But I mean, I do like it, especially right now at quarantine, since we're quarantining. It definitely, it's funny because some of this new spots that we've, have adopted or that we've kind of taken over are not where we typically hang out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I always think about, ideally it would be, I wish that I had a 1-story and that it was a lot. I think this house is big. It's like 3,200 square feet. I wish it was more like 2,000 square feet. But Alex is going to college, and then I'll just be in me and Matt for a little bit, and then who knows? I think I'm gonna
move to Brenda. What?
Yes,
that's a great idea. Come on.
Huh? Yes, I do. I would love just something small and just something for me, somewhere they can come visit.
And bring their wives and their kids. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess we accidentally have the downsized retirement house.
Yes.
And well, we do. I mean, I do still want to add on, but it's money, right? It's always money. And
look, here's the thing. I'm just putting this out there. I'm inviting us over to your house. Maybe some of our guests that we have on, Kristi, they have this, like she said, she has a big lot. So she has this huge, like, grassy knoll. They have a fire pit, and they have, like, how many chairs do you have around there? Like 20 Adirondack, like, just colorful, a bench or two, like, just really fun, colorful chairs. And you just can sit out there and talk and just relax. It's just so nice. I could hang out there a long time. Do you still have your hammock out there?
I mean, so my hammock is actually, like, right now I'm looking at out my back to my backyard, and we moved the hammock under the, like there's the cover where our back patio is. Yeah. And we moved when James bought me this new hammock as a happy when he went to Africa this last time. And when it came in the mail, I was like, because I go through hammocks like nothing, because they get yuck, because I don't bring them in and out. So anyway, short story long, I put this hammock. It just sits under the back patio. It's on the back patio. It's not as pretty. It's not as, like, I don't lay there and look at the sky, but the hammock's always clean. It's always dry. It's always ready to go.
Nice.
So I'm looking at it right now. It kind of drives me crazy because it's huge, but I love it. That is my journal prompt tomorrow is leisure in my Project Real Life that I'm doing. And so I put a picture of my hammock in there.
I love it. But I also think that the spacing of your chairs are socially distanced a little bit, so we could totally do it.
We actually did. We thought about that. So we have we took one of the tables out of our yard just because it was, like the wood, when you leave wood sitting on the dirt, it will disintegrate. So one of our tables was getting wonky, so we got rid of the big turquoise table, and then we pulled some of the chairs out and made another, like a smaller seating area closer to the house, and then what's left over there, you could come over and sit on the other side of the fire pit and we would be appropriately distanced, but we just aren't having people over. We did one time, his dad and brother and his stepmom came up, and we sat at one picnic table and they sat at the other. And then last week, Melissa, have you ever met my friend Melissa?
I don't know. Was she at that thing that night?
I don't know. She's just, I feel like everybody should know her. Melissa is she's our friend. She's my friend and James's friend from college. We planned a homecoming together, the three of us. And so she's our people. And so she and her kids, they call us the college cousins. Every year we meet them and we have at this place. On our way back from the Frio, every year we stop and have lunch with
you told me about them because now you're saying Frio, y'all had all that stuff. I think y'all had just come back or y'all were going.
Big Lou's. Yeah. So so they last weekend they delivered Big Lou's Pizza from San Antonio. The three of them came. And it was the first time we've had people over. It was really uncomfortable. Not because I wasn't uncomfortable with them, but it was we stayed outside and we didn't hug. And for Melissa to drive all the way from San Antonio and me not hug her, it was really, sorry, that was a social distancing.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all. But
this is when I'm like, man, I don't know how well it's going to go. Our goal with this podcast is to not have to edit it. So just to be able to visit, but I am such a rambler, man.
No, me too. I'm trying to stay focused. Sorry, y'all.
All the things. So sorry, guys.
Okay. So are we going to read the songs that we made for ourselves?
Yeah, let's do that. So here's what we did.
Okay.
For this one, we each, if you're on our website or if you'll go to our website, normalbiospodcast.com, and I'll link these in our Instagram and Facebook too. So we each wrote a blog post, a letter to ourselves, and then we included our playlist and why we chose those songs. And then on Spotify, Brenda had the great idea when we started this, that we should do a Spotify playlist as we go. And she's got some fun things planned for that. But we also, so we have our season 1, who knows, that maybe season only, who knows? So we have a playlist that has our songs from each episode. And then we have a Brenda 16-year-old playlist and a me 16-year-old playlist. So Brenda's has 13 songs, mine 11. The goal was
10. And I'm the one who set that cap.
I know, man. So last week, I really I agonized over the 10 songs, and I still, no lie, Brenda, this is what I did. I took the top 10 songs and I was like, fine, I'll just pick these. And then I took out the 16 Candle songs because I was like, I can't use all the spots for 16 Candles. And then I moved up one. I forget which one I moved up, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, did you use all songs from that time?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I did a lot. So
I can't wait to hear yours. Okay, so do you want to go first or should I go first?
You know what? Hold on, mine's not coming on. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, did you, on your phone? Okay, I printed mine out. So I thought this was just fun. It's just, I think, I'm just a music person, but I just think music and songs, again, too, it tells your story and you can get to know someone and where their head is based on, why I picked these. So I have 13, sorry. So my number 1 is the song you picked for me was Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Mm-hmm. And,
I love that.
And it's just a fun song. And it's all about fun. Like, I just want to have fun. I've got a lot of, dark and stuff, and, you talk about being emo, anxiety and depression looms sometimes, but I guess, and doing this is just funny because I guess I've always been this way, just to some degree, is, you know what, at the end of the day, it's, I have to choose the fun. Like, I want to have fun, even though that's right here, even if it's there, I just want to have fun. So yeah, yeah, and you can.
Joy
Yeah.
and pain are like they live next door to each other all the time.
Absolutely, they do. I love that. Reminds me of another song called Joy and Pain. But
Puff it up.
Yes. What was that guy's name? I can't think of it right now. Rob Bass. But yeah, so I just
that song came out in we call it my gap year. So I didn't intend to take a year off between high school and college. And I worked at the Gap for part of it.
That.
So we call it my gap year. And when you say it's my gap year, it sounds like it was super intentional, but really it was none of those things.
Yeah. So anyway, she was also my first concert. She was also, I feel like Cyndi Lauper, how she looked back then in the 80s.
And how she talked.
It was like looking at my personality, like how I felt on the inside, she was like, looked like on the outside. And I was like, oh,
I love
that. Yeah. So I loved her. Okay. Number 2, Just Can't Get Enough. That song popped in my head the other day, and so I wrote, I just can't, like, ever get enough for a lot of things in my life. Peeps, tacos. Number 3, Boys in the Band by New Kids on the Block. I don't talk about this nearly enough. I love a boy band. I love all of them. I am loyal to New Kids on the Block. They're my favorite. I'm a blockhead for life. Love New Kids. But this song they made last year, and they talk about all the bands, all the way to BTS, the Korean guys, the boy band.
So the subtitle is, when I put it on Spotify for you, the subtitle is Boy Band Anthem.
Love it. Yes. So yeah, so I said C number 2, I have always and will heart boy bands. Just can't get enough of them. Number 4 is a song called Forgiveness by Matthew West. It's important to forgive them and yourself. It's harder to forgive yourself sometimes, I think, but Forgiveness by Matthew West. If you've never heard it, like, I listen to it. It just really, really just, it's a good song, and I love it. And I feel like I've always been, even 16-year-old self has been pretty forgiving. I'm that person who can just let it go pretty quick and let's move on. And again, like, there's just some things that I can't forgive myself about. That's just not as easy to forgive myself. What is that? I don't know why.
Challenge accepted. Time for another burn session. What?
Number 5 is Be Nice by the Black Eyed Peas featuring Snoop Dogg. Golden rule for life. Be nice to everyone. Just be nice. And I feel like, pat myself on the, I feel like mostly I've been nice to everyone that I know. I mean, if I haven't, I think I apologize, hopefully. Or I didn't mean
to. Comment on that, y'all. We don't want to know if she wasn't nice to you. That'd be like, hey, Brenda, in 4th grade.
Yeah. But I definitely, like, tell my kids that all the time, like, have a nice day, be nice, because, and later on, hopefully we can talk more about this with some of those people that I feel like I've been nice to, have, like, those people, like, you call in a favor and they're there for you. And I feel like, had I not been nice to this person, like, why are they being so nice to me, So anyway. Okay. So this song, What Are You Afraid Of, by Carrie Roberts. It's a Christian singer. But I wrote, seriously, what, and just don't, well, try not to, you know, try not to be. So 16-year-old Brenda and 47-year-old Brenda, like, we get in our head and we are just afraid of, I don't know what sometimes, you know, like doing this, like how many times it'd be so fun to do a podcast. Look at Kristi over there doing a podcast. That's just so fun. I just love her, you know, like I just never want to.
That's what I told. So I did. James and I had this conversation yesterday. I said, I think if we do this one more time and stop, I said that I think the takeaway from this is that this is going to help Brenda get to where she wants to be. Because I think about how excited you are about posting and creating stuff, and I'm like, this is so. Like now we're going to roll this into the real OCD, but man, right? Okay. So we're going to take all this energy and we're going to do both.
Oh, okay. Sure, Kristi. And you know, you and I talked about this, and I don't know if any of you out there feel about this, because you asked me, like, what are you afraid of? You're like, are you afraid of failing, or are you afraid of it being successful? Mm-hmm. You know, and like it being big, like, and I never thought about, oh, like, is that what I'm afraid of?
So I forget who said that. I forget who asked that. Like I didn't make that up because it never would have occurred to me. But
right, and I took that and I was like really thought about, like, okay, what am I afraid of? Okay, number 7, All Fired Up by Pat Benatar. This is one of the, I love Pat Benatar, and there's some other songs like Invincible. Oh, Fair is Fair. Love that movie.
Children.
That's yes. But the lyrics of this song, it was one of those things I like. Alex, I know, I'm sorry. Pandora, I love Pandora. And I pick my radio stations and I shuffle it. So this song came on one day in kind of the trenches of some darkness. And all of a sudden I hear Pat Benatar, like, she just sounded so angsty, but so like she spoke to me. And the line in the song that spoke was, the deepest cuts are healed by faith, and everything falls into place. And girl, you're gonna be okay. Just keep your faith. And I'm like, oh. So that is like, that song gets me fired up. Don't get me started.
Get out of my business, Pat Benatar.
Yeah, you don't know me. Number 8 is The Sun is Rising by Britt Nicole. And it's all about just keep looking up, 16-year-old Brenda. Like you have already survived 100% of your worst days, and there are more coming, but just keep, the sun is rising. And this song, I found this song, I was watching The Other Woman with Cameron Diaz. Great movie. Great quarantining movie, because it's just one of those like just fun, light, entertaining movies. But and it was kind of surprising that this song was in it, but it's a really good song. Number 9 is I had King of Rock here, but I changed it to Peter Piper by Run DMC, but it doesn't matter because Run DMC, I'm a closet hip hop rap fanatic. You know, like when I drop the kids off at preschool and I'd turn on Barney and blast some Snoop Dogg or Dr. Dre, like the explicit versions. Sorry, Mom.
Okay, so do you know, I have a playlist that I listen to all the time. Like my phone is a playlist. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And the number 1 song on there is Lose Yourself, Eminem. And I know that's like dipping your toe in the rap pool, right? I don't listen to rap. But I love that song. So like when that comes on, like everything's, the windows down, sunroom's open, like we're singing that song.
That song is an anthem as well. That is probably in my top 10 favorite songs. And I'm not a runner. I would like to be a runner, but that to me, I feel like I could just run for days listening to that song. But yeah, love that. So yeah, so Run DMC, I represent, I'm the whole East Coast, West Coast rappers. I'm definitely East Coast. They're New York, the Beastie Boys, like Biggie, like I'm East East Coast. So yeah, and I feel like they're the kings of rap. I could listen to them all day. It's fun.
I hear you saying all these words and I'm like, that sounds so fun. I don't know what you're saying, but it's fun. Okay, go ahead. Whatever.
Yeah, yo. Okay. Number 10, this is another one of those songs that like jumped in my head probably last year, I guess because of the movie. but I'm Still Standing by Elton John. Yeah, you are 16-year-old Brenda. You're battered, you're bruised, but still you're standing. That song's just good. It's like, ha, no matter what you did to me, no matter what life threw at me, I am still standing. And I am still short. Oh well. Okay, number 11, Who I Am by Jessica Andrews. I am, you are 16-year-old self. This, always be you. Like, you know, just, I'm clueless and I'm clumsy, but I've got friends that love me. I love this song. If you've never heard it, just listen to it, because you are who you are, and love that. I'm weird, I'm dorky, but I don't really care. Somebody thinks I'm cool. Number 12, Alex didn't like, or he made a comment about this song, but Matt put me on this song. It's called I Lived by One Republic. And it's basically Life is Short song. Live it to the fullest. Big, like at the end of the day, did you live? Did you do all the things? Are you okay with, you know? And then number 13, this is another song. I was on my way to a college graduation several weeks ago, or gosh, I say several weeks ago, maybe December. You know, the other day.
Graduation was lately, Brenda, but okay.
It was December, and so number 13 is State of Grace by Taylor Swift. And actually my sweet neighbor, who I adore, was playing this in the car, and I know the song because it's an older Taylor Swift song, but it was one of those, it's like I was hearing it for the first time because it just spoke to me, and I just feel like I had to add this song. Sorry, Kristi. Oh my gosh, and it's number 13, Grace and Emma. Number 13 is Taylor Swift's birthday and favorite number. Boom. I didn't even plan that. But
we're dropping something big this next week, BT Dubs.
Oh, okay.
I know this because my 16-year-old told me, and it has nothing to do with the numbers.
Yeah, okay. So you're Casey and my neighbor Emma. I'm telling you, if I could be a best friends matchmaker, because those two, I'm telling you. But so this song came on, and so this is what I wrote about it. You've been through it. Now it's your time. God's got something so good. Just wait and see. And it's a state of grace. Like I literally, when I heard this song, like jumped a hurdle. Like it is all well with my soul. Like I let some stuff go. Like, I don't know if you've never heard the song, it's basically just saying like this person comes out of nowhere in her life, and she didn't even expect it, and she didn't even know it. And not so much my next person, but I just felt like, I don't know if it made me whole again. It's like cheesy, I don't know, but I just was like, it's like exciting. Like I'm like, is there someone coming? Like what? You know, it's like a kid at Christmas, like what's Santa gonna bring? I can't wait. But it's just a happy song. And yeah. So that's me. That's my playlist. Your turn.
So I'm just gonna go down, and
I know I took forever. I'm so sorry.
No, it was good. It was because I wrote my stuff before I saw what you wrote, and so I kind of wanted to go back and add to. But when I'm in meetings and stuff, the way that I operate is I have my note. I always have a notebook for whatever activity I'm doing. So I have my notebook where I'm making episode notes, but I also a Post-it note, like with the random stuff that I'm writing down. And so while you were talking, you said you went outside with your boombox, and okay, John Cusack, like biggest ever. Any day.
Can we just have an episode about John Cusack and all his movies and how he's inspired us all?
Serendipity. So I wrote down, like, if I could add to my list even more, I would have added from listening to you. I thought about In Your Eyes, Peter Gabriel, Anything, Great Big World, Happy from Hypercurta, Invincible from Pat Benatar, and Eminem. I can't believe I didn't put Lose Yourself on here.
You know what? Yeah, you need to put it.
I know, it's like number one. It's like the number one played song on my.
See? Oh my gosh.
Okay, so here's my playlist, and I wrote, It's a mix of old songs and new songs because I really thought about 16-year-old me. So 16-year-old me loved you too. Had just discovered like Erasure and Depeche Mode. I didn't discover them, but anyway, I was into that kind of stuff. So my number one song, like for 16-year-old me, I wanted to be loved, like the Somebody by Depeche Mode. It's a beautiful song.
Okay.
It's one of the few that he sings. It's just beautiful. And it just talks about the way he wants to be loved. So I always wanted, God did me a favor by not giving me boyfriends when I was young and dumb, because I think I was so, like I've talked about this a lot. I wasn't ready for boys. I wasn't ready because I wanted to be loved so badly. But so like all I wanted, 16-year-old me, I wanted to be pretty and I wanted to be loved. And that's a whole other story. But Place in This World, number 2, Michael W. Smith.
Oh, that is a good song. They play that. I think they played that at our kids' preschool. Like that's one of the songs, "My Place in This World."
Yeah,
Aww, I love that song.
Yeah, I think about student council, like leadership stuff. They played that and like score. Anyway, I could go off on a tangent on that, but I love that song, and because I didn't know where I fit and I didn't know where I belonged, and I just I wanted to have a place. I wanted to know who I was. And my number 3 song, I could have picked like my first song that came to mind for you too was All I Want Is You, because I love that. But I also, the one I put down was With or Without You, just because I think about like when you hear the first few lines of that song, like you feel that longing. And I think when you love someone, James and I, today we've been together officially for 24 years. And when you love someone, when you love someone and are loved like that, like you have to take the good and the bad. And there are days like that you would give it away. And then there are days that you wouldn't trade it for anything. And so that song for me, and also Ross and Rachel, the scene.
Yes, yes, the kiss. Finally, the kiss.
Oh, all the things. And then my number 4 was True Colors, Cyndi Lauper, because that to me, like when you said she looked on the outside the way you felt on the inside.
That's a great song.
True Colors, still one of my favorites to this day. I have several different versions on my phone. See, I keep thinking of songs, but True Colors, I put that one down as number 4 because I didn't understand that it was okay just to be you. I thought that was reserved for like the Cyndi Laupers of the world, like the people who were artists and all those things. And this is something too, like I just have worked through this past year, was that it's okay, like that we are all artists, that I married an artist. I married an artist, I was a teacher, but it never occurred to me that we could both be artists, that I am like
You're creative.
Yeah, I am a creative, and I always used the creative side of me for different things, but that it took me all this time to say, okay, I'm a maker too. I'm a writer. Right. I'm a creative. Like I am a creative. So that's what that song. Number 5, These Are Days, 10,000 Maniacs. 1, love her. 2, that song, like again, I hear the first few notes that, and it takes me back to college. It takes me back to like those college. I loved high school. I loved college even more, but life gets better and better, but you will never get those days back. And I think about that with my kids too. Like, yeah, these are the days that matter.
That is one I used to use that song in like every slideshow. Like that is a great song. Natalie Merchant, Where Are You? We Need You Right Now.
Well, so you're gonna like number 7 too on that same note. And so number 6, That's My Job, Conway Twitty. I was always so embarrassed that my dad listened to old country, like Twitty, Willie Nelson, all the things. And it turns out, like, I love Conway Twitty. I call myself a closet Conway fan. And this song, That's My Job, that was one of my dad's favorites. And we had like Conway Twitty on cassette that we'd listen to on our road trips and stuff. And so I love that song. It has so much meaning now. And
cool. Conway Twitty, I like when you said Conway Twitty, like the first thing that popped in my head was his hair. Like,
well, Conway Twitty and I have the same hair. He's
very
young now.
Curly hair, duh. I love curly hair.
but that, so that like to love, I want to be the kind of dad in that song that just loves our kids unconditionally and we support them in their dreams, whether we agree with them or not. Like that's what I want to be. Number 7, speaking of slideshows, every college slideshow, I Will Remember You from Sarah McLachlan.
Yes.
And I think, but this song probably, a lot of these songs aren't really, I didn't pick them because of what they say specifically, but because of how they made me feel. And what this song reminds me of is all of the people who made me. Like everybody we meet, whether we could say it or not, we take something from them, either something we want to be or something we don't want to be. And my goal in life is to be the person that I needed when I was 16 with my daughter, with my son. And then I look at like, the people who taught me how to be a friend, how to be a mom, how to follow Christ, all of those things. Like I will remember all of those people and the people and the lessons they've taught me. Number 8.
I love that.
It's true, right? Like you could probably go down and name all the people. Like there are pieces of you. See, that would have been a good one too. But there are pieces of you that you can trace back directly to a certain person because you like. So you were talking about Carrie McKinney. Her mom, Mrs. Harvey, was the nicest teacher ever. And that's the kind of teacher I wanted to be. And I think that's what I modeled myself after. Love every kid in the hallway.
Yes, she is one of those people, like nicest, genuine. Yeah, this is why I wanted to do this, like talk about, this is what this is about. Remembering all of the people who shaped you, who helped you, even when you didn't know. I love it. I Remember You. I like that song.
That's a good one.
So it's
number 8.
Number 9.
I had to put one emo song on here, and it was hard to pick because I like my most emo song ever is Shakespeare's Sister. Do you know that one? But I didn't pick that one this day.
Oh.
I picked Tori Amos Silent All These Years because when I graduated, I love that album. James Friends outside the window.
Oh yay.
So I love that album, but that I felt like when I listened to that album the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, like she has all these words and all these feelings and stuff. And I was like, wow, I have big feelings too. And the Silent All These Years really is an all-time favorite of mine. It's heartbreaking, but it was a jumping off point for me because that was when things in my life were breaking down. I bought that. I was so alone, except for a boyfriend at the time. And I bought that. My brother was out in the Marines and he was out. And so he gave me money for graduation. And I could tell you what I bought. I bought a shirt at Dillard's and I bought this cassette. And I bought some Joe, what were the pajamas and was it Joe something? Anyway, I bought pajamas.
Joe Boxer.
Yeah, I bought Joe Boxer pajamas. So those are the 3 things that I bought with Ronnie's graduation money. And then that album, like this, it lived in my car as long as I had that car. And then Tori Amos,
it's like she opened her journal and just started singing the words, and it definitely is that. Anyway, I could talk about her too forever. I love her, but I'm glad you put that there because I need to go bust out some Tori Amos later. Need a good cry. Listen to Tori Amos.
Well, like China, that song, like whenever like things are hard in our marriage, it's like, so
cornflake girl.
That's the one that comes to mind. I think about like the Wednesday and stuff. Okay, so I'm only on number 8. I'm the worst at this, like just the talking. So number 9 is a friend of mine. She taught, anyway, my friend Crystal, when this song came out, she sent me the link or posted on Facebook or something. And she said, Kristi, I think this is your song. And That's Important to Me by Joey and Rory. It was originally a Joey song, and then Joey and Rory redid it, and I love it. But it's like if Joey had gone down and all the things that are important to me. It starts out not planning our days around the TV set, paying our bills and getting out of debt, and like something. What is it? Loving our children, watching them grow, keeping it. It's all about the things that matter to us, like not being unplugged, being focused on your family, eating good food, all of the things, but just like the simple things. I love that song. I was like River Phoenix sad when Joey died. I still have not been able to read Rory's book or watch the movie.
No, I haven't either.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon. I followed their whole story, but yeah.
So, and I don't really get invested in people. Like I'm not like I don't even watch the news right now with the pandemic and stuff.
You don't hear the lawnmower? Oh gosh, someone's mowing their yard. I don't know if y'all can hear it.
Maybe that means I'm supposed to talk faster. Okay, number 10. Okay. I'm going to do 2 more. And then the rest I'll be in the blog. But Home, Blue October. So like that, this is my grown-up somebody. This is on most days, I feel like I have this love. Most days I count my blessings. And then on the days that are hard, when the song comes on, I'm like, man, I wish I was loved like that. But I love this song. All I ever wanted was home. Like I wanted a place to belong. I wanted roots. I wanted all of those things. And God is so sweet to remind me. So there were actually, I think either 3 or 4 songs titled Home that I was picking for this playlist, but that's the one I settled on because I listened to it. Like it's right up there.
I can't wait to listen to your playlist.
I like it.
Yeah.
And then the last one that I picked, I cut my list off at 10, and then I had to put this one in there just because I don't have any Christian songs didn't make it on my top part of the list, on my top 10. So I added 11. I added Generations, Sarah Groves. And I love that song. And it's got a line from scripture, generations will reap what I sow. And that makes me think about, like years ago, we went through Dave Ramsey. And one of the things he talks about is changing your legacy. And I want, like James and I, with our family of 4, can change how our family interacts with each other, and we can make all those changes, but I have to think about what I'm doing, what I'm saying, how I'm treating James and treating our kids and treating the people around me, because all of those decisions are going to affect our kids and their kids and their kids. And the day that I realized that life is not about me was like the best day of my life. Like when I look at life with an eternal perspective, like maybe I'm not even here because of me. Maybe I'm here because I had to be a part of making them so they can make who they're going to make. So they, like whatever, like the Terminator, right? I think about that a lot. But that, like, so maybe we needed a John Connor. I don't know. But that, I think about that a lot. And that Sarah Groves, and that she comes from such a sweet time in our life when we were getting into the church. And we used to drive over to First Baptist on Monday nights and go to a singles the Bible study at First Baptist just because the music was so good. I think it was like Kristi Nockels in them. And we saw Sarah Groves in one of her very first performances ever and bought the CD. So yeah. So anyway, so that's all I put on my playlist. That's all I wrote about in my blog post, my letters myself. But then I cheated. I included the rest of the list. I didn't tell you why, but music is important to me, like the way it makes me feel. So
yeah, it is. I play it every day. My poor kids, if they want to get up or not, I'm blaring it, and I'm all over the place all the time. They laugh, and I didn't include nearly enough. Matt's, I guess because we've been talking about playlists lately, I've been playing a lot of new wave. He's like, why do you like new wave? But Depeche Mode and Erasure and all of that. The first time I ever heard Erasure, we were decorating the halls at North Shore. Before, how we decorate the halls before a game, like each great class had like their own hall or whatever. And Jennifer Gore had her little Esprit. It was like pastel. I always wanted one of these.
Yes.
Little like cassette player. My sister had one, but I didn't. So she had her little cassette player playing Erasure, and I'd never heard them, and I was like, who is this? This is so good. So, I pushed eject real quick, and I checked it out. I think it was Circus. I don't know. But that was the first time, and then I was just hooked. Love them.
Oh, my gosh. You know what I just thought about? So I thought, when you said Erasure, I thought about going to Erasure concerts at Astroworld. Southern Star, and then I thought about going to see when Tiffany opened for New Kids on the Block.
Yes.
And remember, after we graduated, she released a new album, that Hold an Old Friend's Hand.
Yes.
That's a good song. That's going to be somebody's song.
Yeah, that is a good song. So yeah, so songs, and it sometimes it's the lyrics, sometimes it's the beat, sometimes it's just where you are in your life, but it's just crazy how a note or a word or just something can just trigger and take you all the way back there, just like you said. Crazy. You guys, I hope you're listening. I want to hear your songs. I know we had a few comments on our YouTube channel, but it's just fun,
I'm having a blast with this. I thought this morning one of my friends, Tara, called, and so the podcast that I did before was me and Tara and Merritt, and she asked me, she said, "How's the podcast going?" I said, "We're having a blast. I have no idea what we're doing. We have no plan. We have no
no plan,
no have-tos, but I'm having a blast." And
I am too.
And it's a creative outlet. It really is. It's both a creative outlet and it's an opportunity for us to connect. I mean, how much have we texted in the past 2 weeks?
Oh my gosh. I thought yesterday, I was like, Kristi is regretting that she ever did this with me, because I was just constantly, she's like, I'm working. I'm at a shoot right now. And I'm like, okay.
But that may be how it sounded, but really what it was,
not.
It was really cool. So he's been doing real estate shoots, but we're not doing people shoots right now. And this week, we've done a couple of, he has done a senior shoot that was distance. And then last night we did a special shoot, and we had to maintain distance. But it was really to be there, and the way that they had staggered the kids to show up. And so I was standing in the shade, on my phone, making a graphic for you. And it's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm texting Brenda. I'm making 46 versions of this quote that she likes." So, but it was
I made that quote, or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I just like to point out, for those of you watching on YouTube, that 16-year-old self is, look, I just noticed this giant pimple zit.
So I haven't even seen it.
Oh, you can't? Oh, that's good. I think it stands out because it matches my lipstick.
Okay, so speaking of your lipstick, I've gotten really lazy on my makeup, and I just wear lip gloss. And I noticed last time that we recorded, and this time my lip gloss wears off. And also I just drank a whole cup of coffee. So I was like, I think I'm gonna have to actually wear legit lipstick when we're recording, so I stay yours is stayed so pretty.
Thank you. But yeah, I grew a zit just for 16-year-old self. You're welcome.
And I touch my face a lot when I'm on video. I don't know why.
I do too. And when I was watching last time, I just noticed that I'm just always adjusting and looking, or sometimes I don't think I even look. I'm just ugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just love you. This is fun. Oh,
I just love you too.
Today's song, we titled this episode 2. We titled it "Dear Younger Me," and Mercy Me, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just because we thought it was fun, and I like the beat on that one.
Yeah, me too. So real quick, I want to say this. I don't know if this is a takeaway or a wrap up or whatever, but it just stood out, and I wrote it about creative. I think about 6 years ago, I decided, oh my gosh, I'm creative, and it's not necessarily when you guys, you don't have to be a painter or a photographer or a musician to be an artist or be creative. When it hit me was in my organizing. I had to think of creative ways to, put someone's stuff in a cabinet, or, just, I love washi tape. I put it on my calendar. Thank you. I got that from my friend Allison Doolin. But you are creative. Anyway, long story. It may not be a painter. It may not be a musician. You may not think you are, but there is something you do special, or that is creative. And just let yourself be that. And don't say, I'm not creative. I'm not artsy, whatever. You are. You just may not know it, or you haven't thought about how it is you are, but you are. I think we all are a little bit.
Okay, so you just basically worked through the entire Artist Way work.
I did.
So this is what I'll say based on that, is that if you so I married a boy whose art pays our bills. So I'm married to like a legit artist, like artist. My friend is an artist, and like she paints and she writes and she cooks and she's all these things. She's an artist. And one of the things, like the very first chapter, I think in Artist Way, it talks about, so if what Brenda just said, if you went, that's not me, chances are really good you said that because you are a shadow artist. So look that concept up. And it talks about people who are attracted to and build their lives around other artists. And for whatever reason, it's because we don't want to think about it. We don't or can't think of ourselves as artists. Like maybe your parents said, like so we're from the east side of Houston. And most of like our neighbors and stuff. James and I moved back. Do you remember that? James and I moved back when we had Casey. And our neighbors.
Did you go to your neighborhood you grew up?
I did. We bought a house on Laguna right around the corner.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, Laguna. But I was like, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So we and like our neighbors were like guys, like worker guys. And they would always ask James, like, what do you do, man? And he's like, I make graphics. I make videos. I'm like, but what do you do? What do you make? And they never like, and I always felt like I didn't fit. And now I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. We're all artists in some way.
In some way.
So yeah, see like that, like this is you were wrapping up and then I went on a rabbit trail. Sorry guys.
I know. That stood out to me. And I was like, yeah. And when some people I said that to like would laugh because they're like, yeah, we know you're creative. Like you, duh. And but I never, because my sister is an artist. Yeah. Cause I, like you, I know like real artists and I'm always just like, how can you like just create this? And where does it come from? Like, I don't understand. And then it hit me. I was like, dude, I'm being all creative right now.
Dude,
same. My canvas looks different.
That's right.
Yeah. My canvas looks different.
I could do this all day. Like, I don't think.
I could too. And I know people are going to get tired of listening to us, but I don't care. It's fun. But I know you have things to do and you have things to celebrate. And it's cool how life comes full circle. We have a shoot in a little bit. In 25 minutes, they'll be here. And then we're going to drive over to the location together. But we're actually shooting. James will shoot. I will be there. Casey will. I will not text you. I promise.
You can text me if you want to, but this is the lady who was our boss at the university. And I tell you what, you talk about people you took away from, like leadership, energy, marriage, family, all those things. Like she's such a role model for me. And we get to do her youngest daughter's senior pictures. We did her middle daughters a couple years ago. And so it's been fun to have a relationship with her and her family as an adult, instead of just a dumb college kid. So it's kind of full circle. So we're doing that today. And then we'll work this afternoon just to wrap up our week's work. And then tonight we have a date. I bought the good cheese and a good bottle of wine. And we're going to go sit out by the fire pit and have cheese and wine and just sit and just be for a little bit.
I love it. Congratulations.
But we would have done low key anyway. Like we were like homebodies before it was mandated.
Right.
Well, I love you, and we get to do this again in the morning.
Yes, so we have our first guest tomorrow, I hope, and then we have one in the waiting. 2 people that are awesome, and the first person is. When we were talking about her earlier, I was like, "Dang it, she's the middle child again." She's, she's not, but anyway, she is pretty. Yeah, she is. She's significant, like huge part of our lives for many reasons. So I'm excited. I hope it works out. But yeah.
See, so, I could just talk about her.
I know, me too. I know. So you guys, please, if you've watched and listened this week, I've gotten some really great feedback. I'm so excited, and I just love you all for your support, and I hope you will continue listening. So like, subscribe, all the things. Follow. This time, Kristi, I like you, if you, in our, at the bottom on our on the YouTube, like link, because Kristi has an awesome Instagram page for her company, Small Town. What is it?
Small Town Social.
Small Town Social.
Mm-hmm.
And then also put James's stuff in there, y'all, because he's done some amazing things. And one thing that stands out, and I've shared it on my Facebook page, is he did a wedding, and the gal wanted, I don't know, I guess was it her, but they took her wedding pictures in a Whataburger. Or Whataburger.
They were her. So she got married. We did that in, it was November, because it was the day we had, like, it was the day that everybody planned their Friendsgiving. So we went to like 3, I forget if, like, seriously lost count. We either went to 3 or 4 Friendsgivings, and then we did that shoot at 2 a.m. in Whataburger. And so
that's one of my
Whataburger.
And it's one of those things I'm like, how fun, and how just her, and how, why didn't I think of that? But it's just fun to watch. It was on the news, and James is talented, and if you need a photographer, you can hire him. But
Shameless plug.
Also me, I can't, I guess because of the whole social distancing, but if anybody out there has questions about organizing or wants me to hang out in a Zoom in your closet, like, call me up, yo, I'm free.
Zoom, FaceTime, Skype, all the things. Brenda will be there.
All the things, but mostly go listen to some music. Think about your 16-year-old self and how far you've come. Make a playlist. Have a great weekend.
I'm making notes. Like, I'm like, okay.
Okay. But, so yeah.
All right. Well, I love you, Big. I will see you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
See ya. Have a great day, Brenda.
Yeah, you too. Love ya.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.